Tá aí o comparativo nos tempos de volta entre Gabriel Casa... Ih, rapaz, Rafael Reis ali. Uma panca mais forte. Temos outro carro aí na pista? Aparentemente não. Vamos tentar entender o que aconteceu e vamos ter a primeira entrada. Rapaz, que
Nossa,
panca, hein?
Que panca, cara.
Das duas, uma. Ou foi toque com alguém...
Que panca,
Vamos ver, vamos tentar entender. Ele vinha pela 16ª posição.
Nossa.
Ele já tá dando na parte de dentro do muro ali, rapaz.
Quebrou alguma coisa, não é possível. Como ele foi dar a parte de dentro do muro?
E mais aqui embaixo também, né, Pingo? Se fosse para perder o controle, ele tinha perdido lá em cima, no complemento da volta. Olha só essa imagem aí, ó. Será que a nossa câmera tá viva ainda?
Isso pode ser uma quebra de semi-eixo, sabia?
Mas vale muito, né? A gente tem que reconhecer o esforço de toda essa gente. A gente já falou isso em outra... Opa! Ih, Júlio Campos. Vinha para 5ª posição. Vamos ver o que aconteceu? Ele e o Suzuki. E sobrou, quase sobrou pro Serra, hein? E o Rubinho aproveitou.
Olha o Felipe.
Felipe e Rubinho aproveitaram para...
Woe it has been for Paul Holton and Matt Plum. Matt, of course, the champion a year ago. Paul drove all bar one of the races as his co-driver last year, so that's why he wasn't a champion alongside as he pulls off now to take that drive-through penalty. But they've really struggled to back up that title-winning form. And if we got a car off in the gravel trap.
Oh, it's the Victor Gonzalez Racing Cupra. First time I've seen their livery this weekend, but it's not the orange one, so it has to be them in the battleship grey colours. And that is at the first corner, and he's well dug into the beach. I think that's going to bring another safety car, unless the front-wheel drive car can power its way out. Now, this is great news for Paul Holton, who's just taken his penalty. Now, there'll be a question. Well, no, we're still in green. And also, good news as well for the number 18 TCR car, Lance Bergstein, who pitted. And Mason Felipe pitted as well. Actually, I may be wrong there. That's turn 14. My apologies. Another large area of gravel and beach. And there was, well, that is Mason Felipe that he was tangled up with going in. That's why Mason Felipe has come straight into the pit lane, as Felipe absolutely sideswipes the number 99. I'm not sure what was going on there. Looks like there might be a left rear puncture to the Hyundai. Now, whether that was cause or effect as he was turning right-handed into...
Oh, and a big problem. That is a big off. The number 12 impact on driver's right. I believe that is on the run down to turn 3. Stays out on the racetrack, collects 6 place points. Let's see if we can find out what happens to Bullitt. Gets out wide over that curb, loses the back end. Man, that was a huge hit.
Yeah, massive. 2 big hits, actually, coming across the track, and then gets the other side as well. And what I noticed before, you can see it here, the rear wheel's still spinning at this stage. That's very odd indeed. Glad to see Anthony out of the car, and looks like more or less okay after 2 big impacts.
57 leader in LB Cup, out of turn 3, down that long straightaway. Now problem for the 41. And that's at the exit of the carousel, I believe, Ryan. And that's a place where we've seen as well and had been moving up. They came in here 3rd in the championship, only 6 points back from the leaders. That's going to be a problem because that was a pretty significant hit, I would think, on that left rear. Point margin from De La Torre and Bamber back racetrack, and it looked to me like he was noticeably slow. And look at this, in the grass already, down to turn 3 action, and that's going to be contact. 63 involved, big hit there, lots of damage for Siderman. That will bring out a full course caution for sure. They're going to let the field get sorted out a little bit before they go full course caution. And is that the 14 also caught up in the mess? And a couple of other cars at the top of the screen able to get refired. This is going to be difficult for Andy Lee. Those rear Hancooks just in that gravel trap, and now more contact.
Wow. Not what you want to see on the first lap. There are some heavily damaged cars. Now we do go full course yellow. So 86 involved in this as well. At least 3 cars heavily damaged here on this opening lap, Brian, and that's an
unhappy driver, as you can imagine. Let's take a look, top of the screen. And it's not the cars in the grass that we see in the beginning. It's the 63 getting into the 81 there. And we lose track of the cars to the left side of the screen, but you wonder if there's some contact. Slow motion at the top. So significant damage there, and there were several other cars that got wrapped up a little to the screen left that we didn't see. Andy Lee, one of those in the 14, but then we head down to turn 5, and let's take a look and see if we can see what happens here. See bits and pieces of cars coming off. Oh, someone runs over a mirror, and that gets the 86 upset. That's when John Hirschberg gets involved, takes the 99 with him as well. And for Rocky T. Bulldog in the 99, he has not had a good weekend. Take a look at the top of the screen. You just kind of see it. Hirschberg off. Rocky has absolutely no part in that, just an innocent victim.
wow. It's been such a tough weekend for Rocky. Didn't finish yesterday, ended up in 8th and lost touch in the championship because of it. He came into this weekend on the strength of 3 straight podiums, including his first win of the season at Watkins Glen. But boy, this comes to an end abruptly for him and caps off what's been an altogether frustrating weekend and trip to Elkhart Lake. That's John Hirschberg. Good to see him out of the car, but that car's going to take a lot of work if it can even be repaired before the next round of the championship at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, you talk about Rocky. He came into the weekend and in qualifying number 1, had contact with another car on the way between turns 7 and 8 in a straight line, and it rode off that chassis. He had to go to a borrowed car. So the car that we just saw involved there was borrowed from another team. So yeah, you talk about a bad weekend. Rocky has certainly had one, and a lot of cars involved in this first lap melee.
Yeah, this is Wyatt Foster here, finished 5th yesterday with Seth Henry. Really loved the paint scheme. We talked about it sub yesterday. Looks like the rugs that I remember playing with as a kid with my Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, but looks like they picked up a little bit of damage, able to attend to that in the pit lane, and looks like they were able to not lose a lap in that process. But so many cars damaged in this. This is Rocky Baldock, who was able to make his way back to the pit lane, and we'll see if that car can be repaired and he can be returned to the track. That would be big for him if he could, Brian, because, again, he is in the midst of a championship battle right now.
Just devastating and separate incidents. I thought maybe for John, he had some damage from the incident in turn 3. This is where it all starts going wrong. Top of the screen, you can see drivers off right side. The 63 comes back, makes contact with the 81. Significant damage there. You see the corner worker waving that yellow flag just as aggressively as he can, warning the other drivers. More got involved, like I said, to screen left that we couldn't see. And here's the mirror that you see. So car goes up and over it, and Hirschberg's right behind it, and I think that movement on the straightaway and perhaps the mirror coming out from underneath the car gets him to flinch just a little bit, loses control of the 86. And as we said, for Rocky T. Bulldog, it's just, he's an innocent victim. The car comes spearing back across the racetrack and gets it to the side of him. And yeah, this is a weekend that Rocky's going to want to forget.
I think that mirror, it looked pink to me, and I did see a little damage to the front of the 69, the Jackson Lee car, coming in that shot down into turn 5, and we got word, and there's the confirmation that that car is being retired. So a winner yesterday